now that I'm kind of like down dressed and relaxed, I kind of wanted to go over my clinicals that I already did, and kind of I really want to speak to the people. Usually, the EMT students are actually anxious or scared to go on their clinicals. Same as me, as I was. I'd never been in the medical setting, and I've never, well, not as a provider, as a patient, I have, and it's just a whole different dynamic. And most people, they get really anxious and scared. They usually don't want to go to their clinicals. With most medical professions that I know, you, no matter what, you usually have to do clinicals. So kind of want to set you guys at ease and kind of tell you guys about my story and kind of what happened on mine. So I can't give away a lot of details, um, especially because the video is not that long, but I'll kind of go through it. So the first one I went to ER, it was in Inland Valley, and over there, so I kind of drove up, and this is my first time doing anything, especially in the hospital setting, being a provider, like I said, and I had no clue what I was supposed to do. I was just going there for clinicals. So I walked into the front desk, and I was talking to them, and I was like, "Oh, hey, and I'm not talking anybody down or anything like that. I'm just going through, um, how my experience went. So just to put that out there. So I walk in, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I'm here for my clinicals." So, okay, perfect. Go, and this is 6 in the morning, like around 6:30. My clinical started at 7. They're like, okay, that's fine. Go to the nurses station over there. I'm like, okay. So I walk over, and they kind of pointed vaguely, so I was walking over, and I stopped and asked someone on the way. I was like, "Hey, do you know where the nurses station's at?" He's like, "Yeah, right there." And he walked over and showed me. So which is great. I walked over there and dressed in uniform with my button up and everything, and I was standing there like at the plexiglass, like I think for a while, like about 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna talk to them because they're just talking right there. So I walked back there, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm here for my clinicals. Like, where do you guys want me?" But oh, just go over there and wait for the I guess their little meeting, because well, in most professions they always have a meeting in the beginning, sometimes in the middle, and sometimes at the end. And it's like progressive meeting, meaning like you're going in and get off my thing, Bevis. You're going in, and you're seeing like I guess what happened, you know, because it's shift change, you know. You're going over all the rules and new stuff that happened the day prior. And so we did that, and um, the nurses started showing up, and I seen people that I'm gonna be working with in my shift. In my shift, but I think so going through there, I had to follow like 3 different ER techs, and some were EMTs, some were ER techs, some were nurses, and they would kind of show me and kind of tell me how to do stuff, which is really great. They taught me how to like do EKGs, the 12 lead placements, and everything, and I was basically almost doing them by myself. They were right there guiding me the whole time and telling me how to do it and everything. Um, it's really repetitive, and it got really fun. We had a bunch of trauma cases come through. Like there was one with there was a motorcycle accident. I think 2 motorcycle accidents actually. Um, I think there's another car crash, but it was just sometimes just a little bit unbelievable. Like when before I got there, someone was already in a room, right, receiving care and everything, and then when I got there, I guess I think like the hour after they had passed, and so as a helper, you had to go in and help, and we had to move that patient, kind of get them prepped and set to being sent in the morgue, and so we did that, and that was very like it was very tragic and almost unreal because you never really, and this I'm pretty sure this goes through everybody's head. You never really know what's gonna happen. You never think like, oh, the worst is gonna happen, and when it does, it's like a split second just seems so surreal to you. And that was kind of me. It didn't really seem real, but I was helping to move in and stuff like that and prep it and everything, and put it down there in the morgue. We had so in the trauma units, usually they have their own rooms, and those are like about 10 around 10 minutes, and they go to around, I would say, 30 minutes to less than an hour. Usually, we try to get patients in and out of there. That's kind of like their, I guess, middleman room, because it has everything. It's so open, everyone could be there at the same time. Because that's the most tragic thing, is usually that trauma. So, like I said, car crashes, they'll come in. You'll, depending on what the case is, what happened, and stuff like that, you'll either have to put them in C-spine if they're in a crash, and you suspect maybe back or spinal cord trauma, to kind of stabilize that spinal cord. You'll cut their clothes to see if there's any abrasions or any hemorrhaging. Um, they run a lot of tests, and this is in between like 5 to 10 minutes. But I kind of want to back up. Before all this, I was going in and I was kind of assisting them and following them of only the things I know. So of what I was taught, I think I was only in, I think, like a month in school, so I was only taught so much. And they're kind of asking me stuff like that, like, oh, what do you know about this? What do you know about that? And certain stuff. So I'm like, oh, we haven't gone over this. We're this part right now. Some of the people have been to that, the same school as me, which is great. They'll help. They kind of relate. But in there, I was kind of scared on certain situations in the beginning, because I'll go in there, put in my gloves, especially when like the family's there. I don't know what I can do or what they want or what they need, because every case is different. It's never the same thing over and over again. But there is guidelines you have to follow, meaning like procedures. So, and it says you have to run and everything. And you kind of get to see that firsthand. And like there was one room where we go in, the family's right there, and the patient's on the bed. They're hooking her up and everything. I don't know what happened, but I was standing in the corner. I had my gloves and I was standing in the corner waiting for them to call on me. And they're not gonna call on you. Like, they see you dressed in uniform and everything. They don't know you're a student, or they might, but like, you're your own person, if that makes sense. If you want to learn, you ask questions. You go in there, you jump in. Hey, do you need help with this? Or and you kind of recognize that, oh, they're gonna do this, so let me go and help them. So I'll go help them, like, move the patient, turn them on their side, whatever they need. Hook them up to the monitors. So if you want to help and learn, you gotta kind of throw yourselves in there, and they'll kind of ask you, like, hey, are you more of an observer, or are you kind of like in it to win it? Like, you jump in, you want to be hands on, do it all yourself, and would kind of guide you. I said I kind of want to be hands on, kind of guide me, even though I was a little scared, but I want to learn, So they had me do that. They, like I said, once I said that, they threw me on the ECGs and EKGs, and I was kind of almost running by myself. So I just had a partner with me, watching and guiding me, and then going through that trauma unit. They're saying, hey, here, do this. Here, you're going to hook them up to the monitor. You're going to cut the clothes. You're going to put them in C-spine. All that stuff. It's not nerve-wracking or scary when you're in there. When you're already doing the stuff. You'll get used to it, and like I said, it's probably your first time being in that provider setting. You'll get used to it very fast, and they're there to help you. So you'll ask them questions, and usually they go over it with you. And if they don't go over it with you, you're gonna be in the same room where they go over it with the patient. So, oh hey, I'm excuse me. Oh hey, I'm gonna be applying this lidocaine serum all over your abrasions and stuff. Or, hey, I'm gonna be spraying this bacitracin all over you, kind of clean you up, stuff like that. They'll go over and tell you. But you'll have fun, I'm going to one tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure I'll have fun too. So don't be scared.